Well, they're going to have Velshi come on with Senator Gary Peters. Interesting. I'll wait for it.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message. 4 years ago, Donald Trump asked Black America a simple question. What do you have to lose? Since then, we've seen racial violence and white supremacy, and the increase in poverty while giving tax cuts to the rich. 200,000 dead from COVID. 1 in 5 are Black. We've lost our jobs, our businesses, our dignity, and even our lives. And he dares to ask, what the hell do you have to lose? Damn near everything.
Age before beauty? Why not both? Visibly diminish
So I
wrinkles skin in just
totally get that commercial. So within 4 years, everything in the black society and culture were so great with Obama, and maybe their spirits, but I guess the oppression started simply when Trump was elected 4 years ago until now. Wow, I didn't know Trump was that powerful, but if that's your story, it's a story.
CarShield handles the rest. Your show-stopping coverage also includes roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage at no additional cost.
Without Car Shield, there was no way that I could afford to get my car fixed.
And remember, CarShield cars go far. Make the smart choice and protect yourself from expensive car breakdowns. Call now for a free and instant protection plan quote. Call 800-596-5856. That's 800-596-5856.
Laser printer. It's your new business, your favorite craft, your family's portal to the future. You can create with wood, fabric, cardboard, whatever's laying around the house. Personalize things for yourself or give your creations to others. With Glowforge, you can do it all in minutes. This is Glowforge, and it can be yours. See you at glowforge.com.
Good morning. It is Saturday, October the 24th. I'm Velshi. We are 10 days out from the most consequential election of our lifetimes. The final debate is over. We're in the home stretch. This morning, I implore each and every one of you who has not yet done so to get out and vote. Do your civic duty. Have your say in who leads our country, either by mail, in person. Do your part. Let's take a look at the morning's top headlines. Overnight, new details from the New York Times on big Trump tax write-offs. How the president's much-touted charitable giving actually gamed the system. Quote, Mr. Trump did not have to reach into his wallet for most of that giving. The vast bulk of his charitable tax deductions, $119.3 million worth, came from simply agreeing not to develop land, in several cases after he had shelved development plans. The records show that much of his charity has come when he was under duress, facing damage
So
to his
they
reputation.
so the government made a deal with Trump not to develop some land to save him taxes. They bought him out, basically the government did, and you're blaming him for not paying taxes.
On Friday, the United States set a record for new daily COVID-19 cases, more than 79,000 new infections, just one day after the previous record was set on Thursday. That same day, Thursday, at the final presidential debate, there was a stark contrast on display between how President Trump and Joe Biden view this crisis.
We're learning to live with it. We have no choice. We can't lock ourselves up in a basement like Joe does. He has the ability to lock himself up. I don't know. He's obviously made a lot of money someplace.
He says we're learning to live with it. People are learning to die with it. You folks home will have an empty chair at the kitchen table this morning. That man or
Feelings and, trying to go off the death vote. Yeah, someone died. I guess vote for me.
We're dying with it.
I care they died.
On Friday, Trump hit the campaign trail and he continued
Hey,
to play
Biden,
to distort the
did they go to
crisis,
hell?
claiming
Did you
hundreds
ever
of
preach
American
about
lives
real
every
Jesus
day.
living?
All he talks about is COVID, 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 because they want to scare people. And we've done so well with it. Now it's 99.8%. I mean, you look at what's going on, and we're rounding the turn. We're rounding the corner. We're rounding the corner beautifully.
Categorically false. We're not rounding a corner unless hell is around the corner. We're facing back to
We're not rounding a corner into the season of winter?
77,000 new infections per day.
Velshi.
Hospitalizations are on the rise in 38 states. Hospitals in the Midwest find themselves on
Yes.
the brink of capacity.
Jihadists.
As the overall number of people hospitalized with coronavirus in the United States has risen 40% in the past month. This morning, the total number of COVID-19 cases in the United States has surpassed 8.5 million. The death toll has
He's not a jihadist. Hey, Velshi, are you for Islam? You for or against?
12 states have added more cases in the past week.
Oh,
than
okay, you're
in any
jihadist.
other 7-day stretch of the entire pandemic. Joe Biden laid out his own plan to fight COVID on Friday and called out Trump for his lying and his failure to lead.
Last night, we saw the President of the United States lie to the American people and repeatedly lie about the state
You
of
lied
this
about
pandemic.
3 or 4
We
things,
saw him refuse to take
Biden,
responsibility for
in
the
your
crisis
debate.
should have been met with real presidential leadership.
After hosting rallies in South Florida and spending the night at his Mar-a-Lago estate in Palm Beach, Trump is reportedly heading to the polls this morning to cast his vote in person. According to the Target Smart count, over 47 million Americans have already cast their vote. More Americans have already voted early this year with 10 days left to go than voted early in the entire 2016 election. We've reached 1/3 of the total vote turnout for the entire 2016 election already, just through early voting. And 7 states have already surpassed 50% of their total 2016
See,
turnout.
they waste all their
Early
time
voting so far
with
is
winning
favoring
power.
Democrats. The Republicans
Vote,
are
vote,
widely
vote.
seen as more likely to show up
Finding
in
votes
person
wherever they
on
can.
Election day. Former President Barack
What about
Obama
the
has hit
issues?
the campaign trail for Joe Biden. He's
What
turning
about
out
the
to
issues?
vote.
What about talking and discussing about new ways of helping the poor?
Because you know,
You waste all the time vying for power.
if this is even close,
It's a huge waste of TV time.
he's already started to do it. So we can't have any doubt. We can't be complacent. I don't care about the polls. There were a whole bunch of polls last time. Didn't work out. Because a whole bunch of folks stayed at home and got lazy and complacent. Not this time. Not in this election. Not this time.
Meanwhile, Republican efforts to suppress the vote continue. In the key swing state of Florida, Republican governor and Trump ally Ron DeSantis sending out last-minute guidance to local officials regarding the voting eligibility of former felons, urging that they be removed from voter rolls if they still owe court fines or fees. By another name, that is a poll tax. In no other instance is your right to vote curtailed by money you owe the government. This is Trump. This comes as
I have to agree with that, DeSantis. No, you can't stop the right to vote. I think only in times when you're in prison, you can. But other than that, when you're out and you're a felon, you have the right to vote, man, regardless of your income and your economic woes.
This is not what a healthy, functioning democracy looks like, but we have a chance to get it back, and that chance comes in 10 days. It is your duty. It is your right. Do not rely on anyone else. Get out and vote. Now, if possible. Joining me now, Vanita Gupta, former head of the Justice Department's Civil Rights Division. She currently serves as the president and the CEO of the...
Let my people stop murdering my people.
Sorry, and with me as well, Roland Martin, host
Okay?
and editor of Roland Martin Unfiltered. He's the author of the first, President Barack Obama's Road to the White House. Good morning to both of you. Thank you for being with us. Roland, you and I go back many, many years, and we've had this conversation many, many times. President Obama pointed out at a drive-in rally in Philadelphia the other day that about 55% of Americans vote in presidential elections, and in elections that don't have a president running, the turnout tends to be lower at the state and municipal levels. Something that's happening in Harris County in Texas, and I just want to read this to you. Mother Joan published this. Harris County was able to
Incredibly
harness
unexciting
backlash against
reporting.
suppression by taking aggressive steps at the local level to make it easier to vote. It increased its election budget from $4 million in 2016 to $33 million in 2020, tripled the number of early voting locations, set up drive-through voting for the first time in Texas history, converted sports arenas into polling sites, and extended polling hours, even opening a 24-hour polling station starting next week for shift workers and essential workers. All this means that the voters have lots of options to turn their frustration at suppression into votes. Your take on this, sir?
Well, first and foremost, I'm from Houston. That is Harris County. That's what happens when you have.
So wait a minute.
The county clerk.
So this county got all these polls, right? All these open poll stations and all that. So look, when you guys run these stories about not enough polls and not enough pollsters and blah 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 blah, look. So why aren't you going after the counties to fix them? You just want to bitch about them. Fix the problem.
In these suburban counties, in Harris County, Dallas County, Bexar County, San Antonio, Travis County, and Austin, 97% in Travis County of folks are registered.
So the county has the ability to fix the voting problem, right? You don't have not enough places to vote at, the hours, the lines. The county's okay. The county can fix that. Noted.
Also, the reason why Texas is changing, and so great work, Harris County, and that's why Republicans in 2017 outlawed straight party voting because Democrats were kicking their butt. And that's why they did not want straight ticket voting. So you see how Republicans want to depress turnout because they know if few people vote, they have a greater chance of winning. More people vote, greater chance of losing. That's why we got to have fair elections in this country.
So, Vanita, there are lots of ways to depress turnout, right? Social media does it. The president does it by talking about.
When you see Detroit, right? When you see Detroit and you see the long lines for voting, right? And you're like, well, it's Trump's fault. And you're like, what county are they in?
Can't show up, watch voting, videotape it, and carry a gun around intimidating people. New York Times reports that the Trump campaign has been videotaping Philadelphia voters while they deposit their ballots in drop boxes, leading Pennsylvania's Attorney General to warn this week that the campaign's actions have permitted poll watching practices and could amount to illegal voter intimidation. With 10 days to go, Vanita, what do we do about this? Is this a lawsuit thing? Is this an Attorney General thing? Or is this a message to Americans to say, get out there and vote, even if people are doing things that seem to be designed to intimidate you from doing so?
It's all of it. This is a situation where the law is very clear. Voter intimidation is absolutely against the law, regardless of what the president has tried to say. And I will say, state attorneys general, local election officials are on high alert for this type of thing and are not going to tolerate it. We've been talking to local election officials, to local law enforcement that has been standing up, saying everyone has a right to vote. We are going to work hard to protect it. Voter safety.
What in these Democrat districts? Look, fix them. Why? Why is it so hard? You bitch about it every election. Fix them. That's why you have power. My God.
Blocking of polling access. You can't just show up, as you said, and pretend to be a poll watcher. There's training involved in that. And so this moment right now is going to call on vigilance from everyone. If anyone sees
it's like a sheriff, right? If you're a sheriff and you're like, the sheriff sucks. Fix it, sheriff.
Local election official. There's a lot of guardrails in place that our system has set up, in no small part because of the history of voter intimidation against African American voters for generations, and our laws are robust. And I will say, local election officials are on high alert for this.
Allie,
I will send that out. Go ahead, Rolla.
There's something very important that Lee can actually speak to. The Republican Party is no longer under a consent decree where they do not engage in this kind of activity. And to be perfectly honest, Democrats got to also accept some of the blame.
No,
You can speak
no,
to
I'm
this.
working, baby.
They
Angel,
did
go.
not allow, if I'm correct,
Love you.
third parties like your
Go.
organization to be able to participate in that particular lawsuit, correct?
Yeah, that was absolutely the case. But I think you're bringing up a really important point, and this is why local election officials are on high alert. For several decades, the Republican Party, actually, the RNC was under a consent decree. This is going to be the first general election where that is not the case, around voter intimidation and a set of situations that happened in New Jersey. I think the most important thing, though, right now is for voters to have
Look,
confidence
this is kind of a
that
wasted
they can
story.
cast their vote
Voter
free from the belief
intimidation.
that there
Nowadays, we
are,
have
local election
these
officials are
iPhones,
on high
right?
alert.
If
I think
somebody's
there's
at the
good news
polls
there.
with an
I think
Uzi,
we've all been
all
on
it
high
takes is a
alert.
little child
Things
with
have been going
10-year-old
relatively
child with an
smoothly. I think
iPhone
it's
to
really important that the media
photograph
and
it,
attention
videotape
problems on
it,
the arise, that
send
local
it
election
in
officials are
right
alerted to
away
it.
to
I
some
think this
news
takes our voting
organization, put
seriously.
on live
Voters
TV,
just need to have
and
confidence in this election. There's
it
been so
look,
much disinformation,
voter
and it's
intimidation. It
being not
shouldn't
only made
be.
by folks at
We
the
see
local
it,
level, but of course
take
by
it
the
out. It's that
president.
easy.
We have to
We
sift
don't have
through
to
it and not
spend
get distracted
10
and not
freaking years
misfocus
talking
on
about
the
it.
thing that needs to
Fix
happen
it
right
when
now.
we
We are
see
seeing
there's a
historic
problem.
turnout. I think today already 54 million Americans have voted, and so we are, the laws are in place to protect against voter intimidation, and voters should just go out there and vote. High voter turnout is the best inoculation against all of this.
I was in North Carolina on Tuesday, Allie, and guess what? There are groups that are set up to help people. They are actually out there watching the people who want to intimidate. I was in Raleigh, North Carolina, Greensboro, Durham, and so there are organizations.
Notice the blackout when the new Black Panthers had the batons and was intimidating people at the polls. The left said nothing, right? So that's what happens when you don't say nothing to help others in their afflictions. When it comes around to you,
North Carolina in 6 hours, talking
well,
to another group of voters, as I've been doing every weekend. It is a remarkably interesting. The Carolinas themselves are just remarkably interesting stories in this election. 2 competitive Senate races, African Americans coming out in numbers that we have not seen since Barack Obama. Suburban voters getting to react to Donald Trump's warnings about all the people who are going to invade and wreck their property values.
yeah, all the voter intimidation when Obama was running.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kill white babies, Shabazz. Kill white babies. You guys do it really well, you abortionist murderers. Let my people free. Stop killing them.
This morning, with just 10 days until Election Day, it is time to break out the big guns, namely the aforementioned President Barack Obama hitting the campaign trail for his former vice president, and he is not pulling any punches when it comes to the president.
The thing is, this is not a reality show, this is reality. And the rest of us have had to live with the consequences.
Isn't that stupid? Look at this. Look at this. Look, Lincoln, right? What did Biden just say? Lincoln was a racist. And old Obama's right under a thing that says Lincoln. Good God, man.
You get a whole lot of something with farmers policy first.
May I have a balloon too?
Sure. Your parents have maintained the farmers' home policy for 12 consecutive months, right? We are farmers.
Not 2 days apart. That Lincoln's racist. Obama's.
Instead of just masking it, and is made with 3 times more odor fighters. With Secret, keep it fresh every day. Secret.
Think you're managing your moderate to severe ulcerative colitis or Crohn's disease?
Are you okay?
I did. Even when I was there, I never knew when my symptoms would keep us apart. So I talked to my doctor and learned Humira is for people who still have UC or Crohn's symptoms after trying other medications. And Humira helps people achieve remission that can last, so you can experience few or no symptoms.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections. Serious and sometimes fatal infections, including tuberculosis and cancers, or lymphoma have happened, as have blood, liver, and nervous system problems, serious allergic reactions, and new or worsening heart failure. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common, and if you've had TB, hepatitis B, or prone to infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Don't start Humira if you have an infection.
Be there for you and them. Ask your gastroenterologist about Humira. With Humira, remission is possible.
At VisionWorks, we want you to feel safe. And we want you to see yourself in your new glasses and think, ooh. But if you
What,
get home,
baby? What do you want, honey?
it's more of a,
You
You
bowing?
have 100 days to
You
change your
bowing?
mind. That's the VisionWorks
Oh.
difference. VisionWorks. See the difference.
With the arrival of fall, there are exciting new colors all around us. And right now at Merkle Furniture, we're celebrating color with our annual Shades of Autumn sale, where you can bring color into your home and save up to 40% on our fine furniture and flooring. It's the Shades of Autumn sale, so you can add a little color to your life and save on the good stuff. Visit us in downtown Chelsea or Ann Arbor, or online at merklefurniture.com.
This is Fracture. Just upload an image, place your order, and it'll show up at your door beautifully printed directly on glass. And this isn't just another frame, not just another canvas. This is new. This is a Fracture. Visit fractureme.com and print one today.
She's not a dog. She's a special creation.
Doing what we love can be painful. Introducing Aspercreme with essential oil. Now calming
She
lavender
gets
oil
shy.
combined with fast-acting lidocaine for lasting relief. New Aspercreme with essential oil.
It's the closest to perfection wallets are ever going to get. It comes in a dozen different colors and materials. Cash wrap or money. Get your discount today at bridge.com.
What if you could cook amazing food with very little effort every night? Brava simplifies the art of cooking so that you can make time for the things that matter most. Visit brava.com for more information.
All right.
Tonight in Miami, President Barack Obama will hit the trail once
The
again.
Obama
Former Vice
effect.
President Joe Biden. Obama's rejoined the
What effect is that?
closer for the Biden campaign, making an appearance at a socially
Yeah.
distanced
Oh, vomit upchuck effect?
kind of like a drive-in movie, except instead of a screen, you've got Barack Obama. Obama gave his most forceful rebuke of the Trump administration since leaving office 4 years ago. He encouraged voters who didn't turn out for Hillary Clinton in 2016 to get up and make their way to the polls. And he offered his trademark, hope, a hopeful and inclusive vision of an America with Biden and Kamala Harris at the helm.
Yeah, we had a little bit of Obama's. The waters, the oceans will rise, the unicorns will fly. Hope and change. And then we had riots after Obama. Wow, it was a lot of hope and change. Rioting and burning, pillaging and murder. You led the blacks the right way, Obama.
Easier for everybody to vote.
Obama notes the increasing difficulty American voters face when simply trying to cast a ballot. We are the only modern democracy that makes it harder, not easier, for our citizens to vote. Right now, the GOP is continuing its assault, trying to restrict voting through legal battles in states across the nation. But no matter who you vote for, Obama laid bare right is so important.
Voting's about using the power we have and pooling it together to get a government that's more concerned.
Voting is, oh my God, did you hear that shit? Did you hear that shit? Listen, let's analyze what he just said.
Laid bare why the right to vote is so important.
Voting's about using the power we have.
Using the power we have.
Together to get a government that's more concerned and more responsive and more focused on you and your lives and your children and your grandchildren and future generations. And the fact that we don't get 100% of
You didn't
what
say
we want
that.
right away is not a good reason not to vote. It means we've got to vote and then get some change and then vote some more and then get some more change and then keep on voting until we get it right.
Obama implored people who've already voted themselves to make those closest to them also participate.
If you've already voted, then you've got to help your friends and family make a plan to vote. Take them with you.
Why?
If you vote early.
What if they
Or
don't see
if you
things
vote
your way?
on election day, because this election requires every single one of us to do our part.
Maybe I don't want my Buddhist earthly brother to vote.
Please do it today. You can visit NBCnews.com.
Might not have the things of God on mind.
In your state, various deadlines, registration, and more. I'll also tweet this out so that you have it easily. Despite the president's repeated claim that the coronavirus is just going to disappear, the United States is experiencing some of the worst.
Velshi, I beat you so many times. You're like a stepchild. I'm not even trying. I'm not even trying to whoop you. You're not even bringing anything worth anything.
We have lost a few people. And it's been hard because we have cared for them for so long, and we truly do love them, and we miss them. And when family can't come in, it breaks our heart.
Okay. Well, Velshi, instead of playing these stupid stories, it is stupid when it breaks my heart that people are suffering with the Rona. When, in context, you have this solution to the Rona. What does it say in the Bible? The Christian Bible jihadist, Velshi. When it says a pandemic, what do you do during a pandemic? What's a prescription, Velshi? It just gets stupid, Yeah, we hate this pandemic. Well, we have the medication. It's called the Bible, and they say, no, we don't want it. We like Desmond the Amazing and killing babies. But it's terrible. We're suffering.
Phil Swift here for Flex Pace, the incredible rubberized paste. Right out of the tub, it clings to the surface, and it instantly fills gaps and holes. Flex Pace dries to a strong, flexible rubber.
Remember the staircase. There's a staircase, right, that MSNBC chose to walk down. At the top of the staircase, it's so fun. Got all this power, prestige, fame, money. They love it. But as they descend down this long staircase down, it gets hotter and darker. It gets harder. And of course, you know what the end of it is. It's the lake of fire. Continue.
You'll need to do the repair right and have money left over to buy lunch. Since 1999, RockAuto.com has added reliably low prices, easy to use website, huge selection of parts, and fast shipping.
The mortality rate is down 85%. There are some spikes and surges in other places. They will soon be gone. We're rounding the turn. We're rounding the corner. It's going away.
Trump can't help himself. No matter how bad things are or what the scientists say or what the statistics are, he keeps repeating his outrageous false claim that the coronavirus is...
What was the date on that, Velshi?
In reality, this country
What was the date that he said that?
coronavirus surges since the spread began. This week, the United States crossed 225,000 deaths. And yesterday, the country reported a record number of daily COVID-19 cases, more than 79,000 new cases in one day, and 891 coronavirus-related deaths. We're also seeing a swell of new COVID patients in the Midwest.
So, okay, Velshi, we get it. 2019, we'd had 6 million deaths due to car accidents. Okay, we're going on a year of the Rona. We have 220,000 deaths to the Rona. Now, have car accidents totally crippled our freedoms and the Constitution? No, I wouldn't describe that. No. But has the Rona? Yeah. It's totally transformed our way of living. And you guys are enjoying the totalitarian fruits of loving power in it.
Positivity rate for those tested at nearly 20%. University of Kansas Health Systems reports their highest COVID-19 deaths since the pandemic began in October. So this is just taking such a massive toll on these healthcare workers. They describe this as feeling like it's a war with no end in sight. And one of the biggest issues is coming out of...
Well, that's the whole point. What's your guys' game plan? Do you plan on this being the new normal? That's it? That's it? This is life? Nah, no, not Nathan, no.
At that facility with positivity rate, 10 of those have passed away so far. And in Kansas, we know the governor is trying to issue a bipartisan mask mandate at this point.
Corey, thank you for your reporting. Corey Coffin for us in Kansas City, Kansas. It, by the way, didn't have to be this bad. Describing it here in the United States, it actually wouldn't be this bad if we had a president who chose to lead, to follow the signs, and to take responsibility and to fight for the lives of his fellow citizens. Joe Biden making that part of his closing argument.
You're killing more people than you're helping. Look at the death rate of it. Look at the suicides. Look at the people that's not getting medical attention. Look at the depression. Look at the people that's not going in for all the medical procedures, all the preventive work. Let's look at obesity. Let's look at people not being active and not gaining social skills. Let's look at a totalitarian government brainwashing all the people at home on their social media. Yeah, you guys are destroying America. You need somebody to fix it.
Deaths in the United States if it had acted earlier and implemented further measures against the virus. Meanwhile, the president acknowledged in a new 60 Minutes interview airing tomorrow that he wants the Supreme Court to gut the Affordable Care Act once his nominee, Judge Amy Coney Barrett, is confirmed, which is set to happen.
Bye, ACA. It was nice knowing you. The slave care, Obama slave care. Goodbye. Nice. Now, it wasn't nice knowing you, but I'm glad you're gone. Bye.
Off their health care plans overnight, not to mention ending pre-existing health care protections for untold millions more, including more than 8 million Americans who have contracted coronavirus could be considered to have a pre-existing condition.
Yeah, Doc! I got a breathing condition.
The last 4 years.
It's a pre-existing condition. I got the flu 10 years ago. That's why I have this southern drawl when I breathe. It's a pre-existing condition. Is it covered? I think I got the sniffles today. Oh, it is covered. Okay. All right, great.
Kept announcing during his tenure. Joining me now, Kathleen Sebelius, Secretary of Health and Human Services for the Obama administration and the former governor of Texas. Good to see you again. Thank you for being with us. There was a moment in that debate.
Yeah, I didn't know that the Rona can can re-metastasize. It's been a decade since I had the Rona. It's a pre-existing condition. It just flared up. Is it covered? It's not the Rona? You say it's just a cold? Oh! Well, Velshi said it's a pre-existing condition. How do you get rid of the Rona?
Reporter talked about is my husband's hometown. What's happening here is tragic, and it is preventable, and we are having the partisan battle in Kansas because we have a president who fails to lead. And you're absolutely right. It now is about healthcare and protecting people with pre-existing conditions and who's going to lose their plan. Medicare right now has a government-run part of Medicare, fee-for-service, and there are also private insurers who offer the same benefits, the same, it's called Medicare Advantage. It's part of the package. Every year, consumers get to choose how they want their Medicare benefits. If you're over 65 and you're in Medicare, you have it. That's what the public option is, kind of on the other side. Private insurers continue to offer marketplace plans to people who don't have affordable coverage in their workplace. But there will be an additional option,
They say I'm not covered on their breathing stuff because I had the Rona.
or because the government can run plans.
The hell's going on?
Then the private sector runs plans.
I thought pre-existing conditions.
Donald Trump doesn't make this distinction. The government can run plans at a cheaper rate than the private sector can. We're not talking about the government running medical care. We're not talking about the government owning and controlling medical. It's an insurance. It's coverage.
It's the administrative costs can come way down. Medicare runs a benefit package that costs somewhere between 2 and 3% of the overall cost of the plan. Most private insurance companies are having administrative costs that are somewhere in the 10 to 15% range. So offering exactly the same benefits, delivered by the same doctors, the same hospitals, the same drug companies, buying your prescriptions at your local pharmacy. We're talking about who's paying the bills, who's running the administration. That makes plans a lot cheaper. That's what was part of the original Affordable Care Act. It couldn't get through the Senate, so it was dropped. Joe Biden would like to give consumers no one loses their employer-based coverage. This has always been for people who don't have affordable.
Let me make this clear. If you like your doctor, you'll keep your doctor. If you like your health care plan, you'll keep your health care plan. On average, a family will save $1,600 per family. Sasha, Malia, Michelle. I'm a Nobel Prize winner. The waters rose. The rainbows sparkled. I am the New World Order president. Trump is a jerk off. Follow me, bitches. That is all.
There was a plan that said something about it's going to go away in 15 days. There was talk about reopening the country around April. Donald Trump has not attended a White House coronavirus task meeting in months, according to reports. And so not only is there not a plan, there's no sense of urgency from Donald Trump on this one. He just keeps on saying it's going away.
Well, we've had a president who has been lying to us since February. He admitted that he lied to the American public to make us feel better, to not panic everybody. I gotta tell you,
Men and women are too small-minded to govern their own affairs. You know, almighty sovereign.
Hey, Kevin! And me! Tell them what they need to do! Yeah, I pulled the sword out of the stone! I'm the sovereign! Just trying to help out! FYI.
Is not there, and the number of healthcare providers are not there to deal with these cases. This isn't going away. We still don't have a plan. Barack Obama and Joe Biden had two pandemics. One was H1N1 in the 09, early 2010, and the second was Ebola, which could have been devastating, and yet the United States acted very quickly, built an office of pandemic response in the White House, had national security folks dealing with healthcare, had CDC representatives all over the world, including in China.
So let me let you in on it. When I said that men and women are too small-minded to govern their own affairs, the Rona was in mind for our government to totally take over health care and everybody. Bitches. Sasha, Malia, let's go.
Seven of my producers have texted me again. You and I talked for years, Governor. I don't really know why I keep on saying you were the former governor of Texas. It doesn't border Texas. Like, I don't really understand what the problem is. I mean, at least if I said Missouri, one could argue that Kansas City, a big part of it is...
The fundamental change of America.
States. Texas makes 0 sense whatsoever. But
In other words, the Constitution, I pissed on it yesterday.
Kathleen Sebelius was the governor. Come visit me in Kansas.
I absolutely will, and I will make sure that it is in fact Kansas. I won't be calling you from Houston saying, where are you? We were meeting at 10. Kathleen Sebelius is the former governor of Kansas and the former Secretary of Health and Human Services in the Obama administration. My producer.
Well, I kind of got the gist.
When I tell you
The whole,
the presidential race, I'm talking about up and down the ballot.
Droning somebody overseas without constitutional rights.
Coming up next, Senator Gary
An American. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of him in a Michigan prison. We get the gist, Obama. We get the gist.
And turned it into the DNA for a better system. We created Bionic and put the word out with GoDaddy. What will you change? Make the world you want.
Stay restless with the icon that does the same. The RX, crafted by Lexus.
Lease the 2020 RX 350 for $409 a month for 36 months.
Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Chewy, we know the best moments with our pets are made even better with food, so you can save on their favorite meal.
Have served with honor. I approve this message because veterans have had our back, and I will take on anyone to make sure we have their back.
Getting beautiful windows with Pella is easy.
Which is huge when you're putting together your dream house. We basically obsess over every detail.
Fortunately, so did our dedicated Pella advisor. He made the whole process smooth.
And we're confident because Pella offers the Pella Care Guarantee, which covers the product and installation. They perform over 7,000 quality checks in a typical hour.
They really take pride in what they do.
Like us.
Yeah, just look at all these photos.
Can you feel that? Something's changing. A shift from a focus on me to something bigger. Because while it's perfectly fair to ask, what's in it for me? Finding the answer comes from asking, what's in it for we? At TCF Bank, our purpose lies in answering that question. In giving every me the financial strength to make us all a stronger we.
Senate race that at first seemed to be safely Democratic is now considered one of the battleground races that could help decide the balance of power in the Senate. Polling this month has shown the Michigan Senate race between incumbent Democrat Gary Peters and Republican challenger John James.
Gary! Are you going to release your tax returns?
Ahead of the Republican Army vet.
Gary!
Points in the state.
Gary! Where is that money you got from Europe? Hey, before the Rona hit.
Barack Obama to help seal the deal.
Gary!
When you're president, you learn real fast who has your back. And in Michigan, that was always Gary Peters. Gary was there every step of the way, helping save the auto industry, protecting the Great Lakes.
Gary! Obama said you saved the car industry.
But Gary Peters
And during Obama's reign, I got fired from the job industry and plant closed. Gary! The hell are you talking about?
And just to show my producers and my audience that I'm not completely out of it, he is actually a senator from the state of Michigan, no neighboring states and not Texas. Senator, good to talk to you.
The Ypsilanti Ford plant closed, bitches!
A lot of it's had to do with the Postal Service. Some of it has, when I was in Michigan a couple of weeks ago, it had to do with the threat to your governor. We haven't talked about your race all that much. What's going on?
During the Obama reign!
Well, certainly, as you mentioned, this is a competitive race. Michigan is a battleground state, absolutely critical in the presidential race. In fact, we've got President Trump coming back again to Michigan here in the next
We want to talk about your money. We're talking about Trump's money. Gary, money is on the table. Why are you guys all millionaires, Gary? Huh, Gary? Oh, now you go to billion. That's what millionaires do. Well, yeah, those damn billionaires. And then us on Social Security, like,
yeah, those damn people that make $50,000 a year, they're rich people.
And then the 50,000 people a year.
Yeah, those people that make 100,000, those rich people.
Then 100,000.
Yeah, those Gary Peters, those multi-millionaires, the rich bastards.
Michigan is a battleground. And we have to remember where the polls are right now, similar to where Hillary Clinton was. And we know that Michigan's a complicated place, that we've got to run right through the tape. And given the massive amount of money the Republicans are pouring against me right now, we definitely have a real race on our hands. And we're going to run hard. We're going to win, but it's going to take us all coming together.
You are an industrial state. You are a state that relies on trade a great deal. These are appeals that Donald Trump has made, and he actually made them relatively successfully in a number of Midwestern states, industrial states, in the last election. The idea that he would somehow take care of the forgotten men and women.
Gary, when you're taking payoffs from overseas, it doesn't help our industry.
How do you argue that point, particularly given Donald Trump's trade wars and the fact that promises he made to people in the upper Midwest last time just haven't come true?
Well, you're absolutely right. They haven't come through. The jobs have been lost. Manufacturing sector continues to struggle. That's why we need new leadership. Certainly, Vice President Biden understands the manufacturing sector. We remember.
Wait a minute. You're saying that Biden is better for the economy than Trump? Evil Knievel wouldn't make that leap, Gary. Good God, you're a senator and you're making that argument? Good God, man.
And said we will invest in American workers. And you have to remember, during that time, Donald Trump was saying, let Detroit go bankrupt. He just said, let's move on. You had actually Vice President.
Let Detroit. Gary, you're a senator. Detroit went bankrupt a long time ago. It was the Democrat. Who? Who went to prison, Gary? What Democrat went to prison, Gary? In Detroit? Stealing the money, Gary. Now you're blaming it on Trump, too? Good God, you chicken hawk.
Focus this country on manufacturing, similar to some of our competitors that do that very successfully. Think of the South Koreans and the Germans. We need to have that kind of policy here in this country to make sure that we create, grow manufacturing jobs and understand these are
manufacturing. I'm interested. Okay. What I got fired from, they had a UAW meeting.
And you want the factory to stay open? Vote for Obama.
Well, we voted Obama in and our factory closed.
Well, after the election, I would love to
it closed.
The most famous factory on the planet with World War II, the Rilla Run, the GM plant, right? Rosie the Riveter came out of that, right? Rosie shut down in Ypsi. What? The Ford plant shut down in Ypsi.
It's an important discussion that Americans need to have. Senator, good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Senator Gary Peters.